Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marine YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about difference between 2-stroke and 4-stroke marine engine. So let's see what are the basic difference. So 2-stroke means it has only one revolution of the crankshaft during power stroke, and one power stroke there will be only one revolution of crankshaft. In the case of 4-stroke there will be for 2 revolution for every one power stroke. Okay, so 2-stroke means one revolution of crankshaft during one power stroke. In 4-stroke engine, 2 revolution of crankshaft during one power stroke. A 2-stroke generate high torque, so torque will be high. In 4-stroke, less torque. Okay, and in 2-stroke uses port or fuel outlet and inlet. So there will be ports or fuel outlet or inlet. But in the case of 4-stroke, there will be valves. There will be fuel outlet valve, inlet valve. But in the case of 2-stroke, there will be ports. And 2-stroke, its engine uses result in lesser thermal efficiency, but in the case of 4-stroke it results in higher thermal efficiency. So 2-stroke there will be less thermal efficiency, 4-stroke there will be high thermal efficiency. In 2-stroke, large ratio in terms of power to weight ratio will be large, but in case of 4-stroke there is power to weight ratio is less. So power to ratio is large in case of 2-stroke and less in case of 4-stroke. Okay, then 2-stroke generate more smoke and shows less efficiency. 2-stroke means more smoke is coming out, so less efficiency. But in the case of 4-stroke, less smoke is coming, but means efficient combustion, so more efficiency. Then in 2-stroke requires more lubricating oil because some oil burns with the fuel. But in the case of 4-stroke engine, it requires less lubricating oil. Okay. In the case of 2-stroke, it requires more lubricating oil because some oil burns with fuel. But in the case of 4-stroke, less lubricating oil is needed. And in 2-stroke, due to poor lubrication, more wear and tear may be occurs. But in the case of 4-stroke, less wear and tear is chance of occur. In 2-stroke, chance of wear and tear is very high due to poor lubrication. But in the case of 4-stroke, less wear and tear. And in 2-stroke, engines are cheaper and simple for manufacturing. 2-stroke advantages means engines are cheaper and simple for manufacturing. But in the case of 4-stroke, engines are expensive due to lubrication valves are tough to manufacture. Okay, so 4-stroke means their engines are expensive due to lubrication valves etc. are tough to manufacture, so expensive. In 2-stroke it is cheaper and simple for manufacturing. In 2-stroke, engines are basically very light and noisy, so engines are basically very light but it's noisy. But in the case of 4-stroke, engines are basically heavier because of its flywheel heavy and less noisy. So in 2-stroke it is basically lighter but they are noisy. But in the case of 4-stroke, it is basically engines are heavier and flywheel is heavy, so that it is less noise is coming. So let's say see some of the differences also. In 4-stroke means, let's say conclude session. In 4-stroke means if one cycle, that means suction, compression, power, exhaust all completed within 4 strokes, it is known as 4-stroke cycle. Same in the case of 2-stroke means if one cycle, that is suction, compression, expansion, exhaust, they're all completed in 2-stroke is known as 2-stroke engine. In 4-stroke, cycle is completed in 2 revolution of crankshaft. Then in 2-stroke engine, cycle is completed in 1 revolution of crankshaft. In 4-stroke engine, it can be naturally aspirated without turbocharger. In 2-stroke engine, it requires supercharging. And 4-stroke engine means it is divided into medium or high speed engine. 2-stroke engine we can say it is slow speed engine. Okay, 4-stroke engine means it is medium or high speed engine, and 2-stroke engine is only using slow speed engine. Our is a slow speed engine. Then our 4-stroke engine is less in weight, but in the case of 4-stroke 2-stroke engine is more in weight and less in height. 4-stroke engine less in height, but in the case of 2-stroke engine it is there more in height. And in 4-stroke engine normally utilized for developing power on board, so you used to use for power generation. Alternatives they are using 4-stroke engine. In the case of main propulsion engine we are using 2-stroke engine. And heavy in 4-stroke engine flywheel is very heavier, so more vibration due to high speed. In the case of main engine, flywheel is later and less vibration due to low speed. Okay, and due to power to weight ratio is very low in the case of 4-stroke engine, but in the case of 2-stroke engine power to weight ratio is high. So these are the basic difference between 2-stroke and 4-stroke engine. Thank you.